It's week 2 of the NFL preseason, where depth charts and playbooks will be put to the test. It's the Saints and the 49ers under the lights on Sunday night.
Next to the beautiful San Francisco Bay, 40 miles from where Candlestick Park once stood, we're at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. With Brock Hewitt, I'm Kate Scott. Happy to welcome you to week 2 of 3 here in the preseason. And this is the week, Brock, where a lot of players, they're not just fighting their opponents out there anymore, but they're fighting each other for the roster spots remaining as we look ahead to the final week of the preseason.
Yeah, that's well said, Kate. And every coach will say the same thing across all 32 teams. Don't count numbers.
Yeah.
Don't look around the room.
Yeah.
Don't look at anybody else. Just worry about doing your job. But when you're outside the top 40 or so, you know it. You know you're on the bubble and you're...
Punter Mitch Wishnowsky ready to do the honors? And the nightcap to a busy Sunday is underway. Valus Jones now on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. So the Saints offense taking over for the first time here. And amidst the veterans, it's this rookie quarterback leading them out.
Kate, when I watch these rookie quarterbacks running out to open a game, I think of the old World Series great pitcher Cliff Lee. And he made a one-handed play in the World Series and was asked about it afterwards. They said, man, how do you have so much poise? You didn't even look nervous on that stage. And he said, sometimes you got to fake it until you make it. You got to tell yourself you'll be just fine. And these rookie QBs, that's part of the learning curve they're climbing.
So now, partner, got to reevaluate what to do on this next snap because the holding call pushes him back quite a ways. Running behind center with Kamara. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
And he's able to get across the 25 before stepping out. 3rd and 10. Can this offense get it done? Throwing from the gun here. Got his target. It's Hill. And it's a nice gain, but still not enough for the first.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
So here come the 49ers now to take over for the first time. And it'll be their rookie QB who brings them out.
It's always fun, puts a smile on my face when I see a rookie leading an offense out. A lot of them look like 10-year vets with confidence and poise in the middle of that huddle, in the middle of their teammates. But let's watch his first couple throws. That's where sometimes you could see some of those nerves slipping through.
They're going to throw here to begin the drive. That finds Ayuk complete. And it's going to be about a 3-yard pickup in the end. That play wrapped up by Demario Davis. 2nd down now, 7 to go. Here's the first carry for Christian McCaffrey. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
They go play action on first. Short pass caught by his tight end. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Making the stop that time, Kool-Aid McKinstry. All right, here we go, 2nd down. From the 41. Connection made to Isaac Garindo. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Finding Pearsall. And he gets across midfield and into Saints territory.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
And he finds space for about a 3-yard gain. Justin Reed with the tackle.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
From the gun on 3rd down. Brought in by Ayuk. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine, because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
From the gun, McCaffrey. And they bring him down at the 25-yard line after surrendering some good yardage. 2nd and 3 now. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. He'll get this complete to Jennings. And they have this well into the red zone now at the 15. All right, set now, 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. And he will score. It's a San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers have a great first drive and get the game's first points. It's a Brandon Ayuk touchdown. Well, whether he stays the go-to guy the entire game, we will all judge together. But no doubt about it, on that opening drive, Brock, he was the star. Bunch of catches and a touchdown to begin this one.
Yeah, I think this is twofold. Number one, you love to get this guy started early. He's a playmaker. He's a difference maker. Number two, this defense, well, they better be on high alert, because this offense feels like they have a matchup they can attack, and that time attack a 3rd time for 6.
To return this, Rashid Shaheed. And look at this return. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. 2nd drive coming up for the Saints offense. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening 1st down as they take the field a 2nd time. The Saints enjoying some good field position to start this drive off. 1st and 10 coming up. They're going to start on the ground with Kamara. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Here's a give inside to Kamara. And he found some running room for a nice gain. They pick up 7 on the ground. That brings up 2nd and 8. From the 37. And he overshoots his man. It's incomplete. Nearly an interception on that play. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. He's going to throw this one. Has him on the quick hitter. And he takes this out after crossing the 45. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Now a run with Kamara. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4. From the 47. That's going to be caught by Cooks. And they're going to haul him down a step before the 30, right at the 31. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains. They've got 1st down from the 31. Kamara running out of the gun. And he gets taken down immediately right at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Now looking to throw. Connects with Johnson. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on a throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
It's Kamara on 3rd down. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
On 4th down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. It's a 38-yard look here. Mickey kick is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Dallas Flowers now on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. 2nd drive coming up for this 49ers offensive unit. And so far, they've executed exactly how they drew it up, Brock. Early lead, no points allowed, and a chance now to seize control of the game on their 2nd possession.
And, Kate, generally, offenses love to script their first 10 to 15 plays. Well, this entire game script is playing out just the way they want to.
A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a 1st down.
Kate, it just feels like any time this guy touches the ball, it's a big play waiting to happen. He could be lined up wide or when they use him as a runner. If someone doesn't get a hand on him quick, he's gone.
And they'll surrender just a lone yard. That brings up 2nd down. Going run again with McCaffrey. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A gain of 2 follows up a gain of 1, and now they're left with 3rd and 7. Setting up a throw. Throw complete to Juszczyk. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Pursue, pursue, pursue. It's why they do these drills all the time, Kate. You do them through the offseason, do them through training camp, you do them in the regular season. Because when a defense plays with tremendous pursuit, you force 4th downs just as they did.
And that one comes down at the 2 before bouncing into the end zone for a touchback. New Orleans back on offense and ready to go now. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Now they'll throw out of the gun. That's caught. Rashid Shaheed makes the play. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. They've got 1st down from the 31. They run it from the gun with Oh, what a hit! Jars the ball loose! And this is picked up by the 49ers!
You know, this just can't happen on 1st down. It really can't. I mean, ball security is at a premium on every down, every distance. But on 1st down, it is especially a killer.
Now the 49ers getting set to go on offense. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. Throwing now, following the turnover. And the Saints came marching home, and they dropped him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
We've got enough data now through the years to understand that an explosive play on offense, more often than not, leads to scoring. We also know if you can create a negative play defensively. In a tightly contested game like this, every play matters. And to get that negative play, put this offense on their heels, exactly what this defense needed.
They kick the running back in motion. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. And oh, someone stepped in, it's intercepted! That's DeMario Davis. And the Saints will take the interception back across midfield before they finally track him down. Well, okay, I guess we've got a couple of very giving teams today, Brock. One side coughs it up with a fumble, then the other side graciously hands it right back with the interception.
Hey, listen, if you like playmaking defenses, then you like this game right here. These defenses, they're the ones supplying the big plays, and they're putting their stamp on this game.
The Saints and running back Alvin Kamara trotting back out to the field. They'll get this drive started, 1st and 10. They're going to start just inside of enemy territory following that pick. Throwing now from the gun. He's on the move. Pressure gets to him, and he goes down. That's a sack. We do have a marker down, but where it's at on the field, partner, that sure looks like it's in the neighborhood of holding. Well, that play went for negative yards anyway, so no need for them to accept that penalty. Counter give to Kamara. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Brought down by Fred Warner. So a really tough spot here. This is 3rd and a country mile. Running back sent in motion. 3rd and long for him here. Kamara's got it. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
Here comes the Saints punting unit. His first effort went 47 yards. Brock looks to have a little more into this one. So this one carries all the way to the sideline and out. No chance to make a play on that, and they'll take over at the 16-yard line. Now out comes the San Francisco offense. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. Slot man motioned over. Looking to throw here and shake off that previous INT. That throw finds Kittle. And they take him down at the 24-yard line.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Here's 2nd and 2. Catch is made down the right sideline. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pearsall there to grab it. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. They kick the running back in motion. Here's 2nd and 5. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Looking to the air here. That's caught for the first. And they make the stop. We're going to say at about the 37-yard line. Give them 9 on that play, and it's enough for the first.
Move the chains. Got to move them chains. Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
They bring a tight end in motion right. Play action on 1st down. That's brought in by Jennings. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. They are throwing it again. Able to hit Robinson, complete. And this one's worked down to the 33 before being stopped. So before they can set up for another play, we've hit the end of the first quarter. Neither side separating much so far. Back to Levi's Stadium right after this. We're back, and it's 49ers football as we resume. They'll have second down as they look to continue this good drive. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
You know, that's so hard for me, Kate. That's the type of effort that deserves better when it comes to the results. It's going to show up as a negative run on the stat sheet, but that was not the runner's fault. He did all he could to fight to get back to the line, but this defense just kept swarming.
Let's see what they went with on third down. Trying to throw here out of the gun. And even on third down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be fourth down.
So many coaches love third downs, and they practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these third downs.
And this one gets out of bounds. It was pushing some distance towards the goal line, but gets out at the 5. The New Orleans offense set to go now. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Kamara now on 1st and 10. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 9 yards. Looked like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of the defense.
Not on the same page with his tight end. And what will they dial up on 3rd and short? Back to throw now. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. They'll motion him out of the backfield. To the air now on 1st and 10. He finds Johnson. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
1st down, ball at the 36. One of the tight ends motioning right. Out of the gun, a give to Edwards-Helaire. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Tackle made by Jair Brown. 2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 39. Gets this to Johnson. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
This one's taken in by Hill. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Throwing it again here. This finds Cooks, complete. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. 2nd and 3 now. Throwing from the gun. That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there. No connection on the last play, and now it's third down. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Jones reels it in. And he's going to be out of bounds. Looks like a yard or two short of the 25. A 70-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And they've got themselves another 1st and 10. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Able to find Peoples-Jones here. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
A give up the gut to Edwards-Helaire. And he's able to bring this one down to the 4-yard line. It's a solid 70-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3. Handoff here for Miller. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know, Kate, during draft season, I was talking to an NFL GM, and he said, you know what, in time, we're going to realize tackles for loss are just as big a deal as sacks. Sacks get so much of the popularity. Tackles for loss, when you knock that offense backwards, I promise you, in time, we'll be keeping a closer eye on plays like that one. So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
Mickey-Tomney's kick is good. And that cuts the lead back down to a lone point.
Well, that's why they spend all the time on the practice field during the week. That kind of operation. Perfect rhythm, perfect timing, and a 2 for 2 for this kicker.
He fields it from the 8. He's got a lane up past the 30. Coverage team tracks him down as the return reaches the 35. The San Francisco offense headed out to take over. Well, their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he's brought down for a loss.
Can I have a moment, Kate? Just a moment to marvel at how well they reacted to that play on defense. They were all over it from the start, getting behind the line to blow up a play that how many times do we see as highlight reel touchdowns going the other way?
2nd and 12 behind the sticks. He'll get this complete to Jennings. And that will not be enough for a 1st down. Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Looking for a throw here. Into the hands of Kittle. Fights off a tackle, but he lost the ball. He left the ball behind. Fighting all he could to keep his quarterback upright, but crossed the line there. That earns the holding penalty. Here he is on 3rd and long. Finding Pearsall. And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
You know, I don't mind the scheme. In fact, I like the call. Just not on that 3rd down in particular. Need to get it closer to the sticks to have a chance to move those chains.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. Fair catch called for and brought in at the 11. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And the Saints will get set to take over. They're out and set. 1st and 10. Throwing with a blitz on the way. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Out of the gun, a give to Jones. And he turns a little room into a gain up to the 17. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. That's into the hands of Moreau. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
They've got first down from the 31. From the gun, Edwards-Helaire gets it. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
They say about great outfielders in baseball, there's just something to them. They've got a knack, a feel, an instinct to take the right line, the right angle. For safeties, to create tackles for loss in the run game, it's the exact same attribute and skill set. Got to take that right angle and then go finish that runner.
The rookie from Georgia in on that tackle. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Off the play fake, he'll throw. This finds Moreau. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
And he'll scrape together what he can on the return. He gets it back to the 20. That punt gets up to 59 yards. And the 49ers will go on offense. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. On the ground to begin the drive with McCaffrey. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, they were hoping to get outside and meet those guys at the second level. Well, someone from the second level came to beat him on his turf. And that meeting didn't go so well.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. He finds space for a few yards that time. Sent to the ground by Pete Werner. And the Saints go in nickel, 3rd down. Off the play fake, he's gonna throw. And he'll go down. The Saints make the play. And the defense comes through. That's gonna back him up and bring up 4th down.
Hey, God bless the Ted Washingtons, Casey Hamptons, Vince Wilforks, all them run stuffers back in the day. But the D-tackles of today, you not only have to stuff the run, you have to eat up the pass too, and that D-tackle just got it done.
Mitch Wisnowski headed back out as they'll punt it away once more. Back deep for the Saints is Rashid Shaheed. And he can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. The Saints headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And he sure has put on that chef's hat to dice up their defense early in this one. Quite the appetizer that he's prepared to what could be a great overall performance. And he's able to get it past midfield and down onto the 49er side. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3. From the 46. Catch made by Cooks. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st. They'll try and throw it here. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Running back sent in motion. 2nd and 10 now. Has it downfield, working the left. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And the Saints are going to have a 1st down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
From the red zone now. Edwards-Helaire reels it in. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Well, if they were concerned about losing yards, running it on first down, it just happened anyway. Not many passes end in a loss. Hopefully they got a little more aggressive strategy coming here on second down.
On the give, it's Miller. A flag's down as he stops. Looks like this one's on the offense. But, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. They send the tight end in motion. Here we go, second and very long. That's going to be caught by Cooks. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line. So it's the 2-minute warning here from the home of the faithful. And it's the Saints dealing with third and still 10 to go. Back to throw. This throw is caught. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. We get a timeout here taken by the 49ers. That's going to be their first. Mickey kick is good. And that's going to give them the lead.
Give him the first half trifecta. He's 3 for 3 on field goals. And as much as they'd like 6 points to end drives, not 3, they can at least be happy they're getting consistent looks inside field goal range, and he's delivering.
That's going to be taken in at the 8. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this game ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden ratings hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. 49ers moving quickly, trying to get their offense to the line. Here's 2nd and 2. Kittle brings it in. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. 49ers moving quickly, trying to get their offense to the line. Complete to Pearsall. And they're going to haul him down just shy of the 40. Signals, and looks like we've got a timeout before that first down play. They'll throw it again. On target to his back, here's Christian McCaffrey. And they make the stop, we're going to say at about the 37-yard line. 2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 37. That throw finds Kittle. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's a 49er first down.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
Forced out to his right. He's going to keep it this time. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. The 49ers will call their third and final timeout. 2nd and manageable. He's throwing. And got his man. That's a San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers take the lead just before halftime. It's a Brandon Ayuk touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. That one not easy, Brock. Threading the needle there. There was a lot of traffic in the end zone, but he found his man.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised decision, but when you give your receiver a chance, that's what they love. And sometimes you just have to trust your guys are better than theirs.
Joseph there to tack on the extra point. And the 49ers jump in front now by 5. Here's Wishnowski now to handle the kickoff. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. So we're halfway through this contest from Santa Clara, California. The hometown 49ers out in front. Now it's time we checked in around the league. Here's Jonathan Coachman with the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in just a moment. Want to remind everyone, this is week 2 of the preseason. These two teams will have one more tune-up after this next week, before the regular season gets started on the Thursday following Labor Day.
Israel Abanikanda on the return. And this drive will start inside the 25. The 49ers offense ready to get to work to begin this third quarter. And they really leaned on that passing game in the first half, Brock. Let's see if that emphasis continues to start the third. On the ground, this is Isaac Garindo. And he works through a lane for a gain up to the 30. Give him around 6. That's going to make it 2nd and 4. First throw for the backup now. That finds Jacob Cowie. Give him 13 on that play. And it brings up a San Francisco first down. They'll motion a tight end left. On the give, it's Garindo. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
First down, and they go right back to him. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Tackled on the play by Cameron Jordan. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Pistol now for Jones. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play.
I think the defense is still turned around looking for where the ball is, because that QB and tight end, they got that ball out in a hurry.
Third down, Jones to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
And he got a little too much leg into that one. That's a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity, no doubt. This ball's coming out to the 20. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Edwards-Helaire on the give, headed right. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. It's a pickup of 26. And that's good for a New Orleans first down.
Kate, that's the type of run that shines the light well on him as a runner, of course, but you got to give a lot of credit to everybody else. Those skill guys, when you have an outside run, they got to do their job. Not just the big boys up front, not just the running backs. That takes everyone on the perimeter blocking to get a big run like that.
Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. Now a shotgun handoff to Miller. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field. Give him 4 on that run. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Hayner now. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Throwing, Hayner. Able to find Peoples-Jones here. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Trying down the middle with Edwards-Helaire. And he's brought down after a short gain. Call it no gain, maybe 1 at best on that play. That leaves him with 3rd and 2. Here's another carry for Edwards-Helaire. And defenders continue to swarm over to get him at the line. Ground game stopped again. That leaves them with a 4th and short.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
On fourth down, out comes the Saints field goal team and Blake Grupe. This a 52-yard attempt from the left hash. And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that trims the lead to just a couple.
They can't blame him for the deficit, He's been doing all he can to kick them into contention. That's now his 4th field goal. And all those kicks he's made are part of why the lead is still close.
And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here come the 49ers on offense. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. From the gun, Garindo. And he's brought down up across the 30-yard line. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, it's Jones. Hits him on the out route. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They strike for 23 yards. And that's a 49er first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
New set of downs for him from the 46. On first down, it's Jones to throw. Short pass brought in. And this one doesn't go far.
Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship. Good thing on a football field. Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Again, Jones to the air. That's complete to Garindo. And he's going to score. Touchdown, San Francisco. The 49ers push this to an 8-point game. Isaac Garindo with the touchdown. So the offense showing a slightly different dimension there, Brock. Getting the running back involved with his hands for the touchdown.
Yeah, such an advantage. I think when you think about it, Kate, it really is about the 80s where we start to see these running backs not just tote the ball as runners, but be real weapons when they get the ball in the passing game. Yeah. That's well done.
Point after try is good by Joseph. And the 49ers push the lead to 2 scores now. Here's Wishnowski now to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Jones. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Saints ready to return their offense to the field. Well, they've run into the wall quite a few times, Brock, and like walls tend to do, it hasn't moved. No luck in getting the ground game established. Probably part of the reason why this offense is still searching for its first touchdown.
What's that quote you learned at Cal about insanity?
Which one? There's so many.
Doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. They've tried.
That's the one.
I mean, bless their hearts. They've tried to pound the football on the ground, but the results haven't changed. This front stops them every time, and it sure kept a lot of points off the board.
I see you, partner. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. It goes as a pickup of 37 yards. And the Saints are going to have a first down.
The analytics are pretty clear. It's hard to move the ball in this league with short little dinks and dunks. You've got to get the explosive chunk. You got to get the big play. And that throw to the outside, that gets the job done.
Putting the tight end in motion. Now a give to Edwards-Helaire coming left. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Jason Pinnock there on the tackle. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. Gets this to Johnson. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. To the air, Hayner. That's taken in by Means. And he gets this forward to the 19. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the 19. It's caught right side by Johnson. And he's able to get this down to the 13. That one ends up a gain of 6. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down. Fakes the handoff, now to throw. This throw is caught. And it looks like he went out of bounds right at that 7-yard line. 2nd and 3 now. Handoff to the back. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. Here's Hayner. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. The Saints shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Groupie's extra point is good. And the Saints cut the lead down to just 2. We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. Here's Abanikanda on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The 49ers back on offense and set to take over. They've certainly had no issue scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they could really use some more points on this drive. They kick the running back in motion. 1st down throw by Jones. On target to Garindo.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Hits his tight end on the corner route. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Give him 30 yards on that one. And it brings up a San Francisco 1st down.
Every tight end worth his salt wanted this. Really craved man-to-man coverage. The best of them, give me man-to-man coverage, and I'm going to beat you. I was around Dallas Clark and Indy, one of the best. You play man-to-man, he's going to find a way to out-leverage you, separate from you, and make a play, just as that tight end did.
And he powers through the middle for a gain of 4.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
And he runs this to the 25 before being brought down. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs. All right, all set up now, 1st and 10. Now a give running right. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. They send one of the tight ends in motion right. And go play fake with Jones. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down. Working from the gun. Here's Jones. To the sideline and intercepted. No, it's incomplete. He had the pick. Just couldn't hang on, though. And this drive lives on to see 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Jones. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. And they're going to take this in for the San Francisco touchdown. The 49ers push this to an 8-point game. It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends, they've got a ton of field to work with, and when they prove to the quarterback they can be a difference maker, he'll look for them.
Here's Wishnowski now to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Jones. And look at this return. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. The Saints are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Brock. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And the Saints are going to have a first down. One play in, and already they're close to midfield. Going to the ground again on first. And the hit stops him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line. No progress on first down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Throwing from the gun here. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up. Looking to throw, Hayner. Edwards-Helaire reels it in. And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag. So they'll let the play stand, decline the penalty, and that's going to bring up 4th down. Hayner. He connects downfield on 4th. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. What a play to beat the defense on 4th down. It's 23 yards and a first.
Oh, so close to getting off the field. But the 4th down conversion keeps that defense out there. That was their shot to end this possession, to sit on the bench, to get their breath. But now they're going to have to buckle down and force another 4th down.
The play clock ran all the way down there, and this is going to cost the offense. Must have lost sight of the play clock there, Brock, because the quarterback could have snapped it in time, but instead, they take the penalty. They'll have to come up with 5 extra yards now after that first down flag. Now they'll throw out of the gun. He gets this one to Peoples-Jones. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Hayner now. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever. Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know that it's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They send a tight end in motion. Staying grounded with Edwards-Helaire. And he only manages one. Couple of defenders there to bring him down. That's the end of the 3rd on Sunday night. It's the Saints ball. They're down on the scoreboard, but things not out of hand yet. 8 yards to go as they get set on 2nd and goal. Throwing, Hayner. A quick throw is swatted away, incomplete.
With all due respect to some of the great linebackers back in the day, to play the position today, man, you've got to be versatile. You can't just be a come up and stuff the run. You got to play coverage. And these defenses more and more rely on you to break up throws just like that.
Ooh, that looked like a pick for a second, but it hits the end zone grass. They are very fortunate to get this one back, but now they've got 4th down. So yet again, they're turning to him to try to put 3 on the board. High percentage look for him here from the left hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And it pulls him back within 1 score here in the 4th.
This is a case of, well, just get what you can on the way out the door, Kate. It's already out of reach. Just take the 3, let your kicker get some points, and make it a hair closer in the box score.
Here's a Conda on the return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The 49ers send Mac Jones ready to take over once more. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Play fake, Jones. They did it! He made the interception! And the Saints have some new life in the 4th. Well, we both saw what he was doing, Brock, trying to work the sideline there, but I don't think he ever saw the corner sitting back and just waiting to break on that throw.
And that's what the good ones do. They use the sideline to their advantage. It really becomes the 12th defender on the field. The elite corners in this league, they'll play to it. They'll bait those quarterbacks to making that throw, and then they'll close fast and take that ball away.
Here comes the Saints offense. And they settled for a chip shot field goal last time, Brock. You got to think they want to be able to finish it off and reach the end zone here. Able to find Peoples-Jones here. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. 2nd and 3 now. From the 32. Finds him on the crossing route. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's good for a New Orleans 1st down. Out of the gun, a give to Edwards-Helaire. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. They send the tight end in motion left. A give up the gut to Edwards-Helaire. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to leave him with 3rd and 3. Now it's Hayner. And he let his man too much there, Brock. Incomplete, 4th down coming up.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. And he brings it in for a New Orleans touchdown. The Saints come through to tie it in the 4th. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
The touchdown brought it even, and this try can give them a 4th quarter lead. And he comes through on the kick to give them the lead here in the 4th quarter. Reed now to kick this one away. Here's a Conda on the return. He's got a lane up past the 30. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. Now outruns their offense to take over. They find themselves down here in the fourth after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. Jones on first down. Completed over the middle. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 20 yards out of the play and move the chains. Only one play in, Brock, and this drive already to midfield. On first down, it's Jones to throw. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down. Shotgun, handoff to Garindo. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
They had the first down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
They'll go right back to Garindo. And he works it down to the 30-yard line. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, it's Jones. Finds him over the middle. And they've got him down near the red zone at the 22. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the first down. Running back sent in motion. Hits him on the out route. And he gets this down inside the red zone before going out. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Jones looking to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And this one does not go far. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. They find 7 yards, and now they've got 1st and goal.
Calm, cool, collected from this offense. Love to see it. No tunnel vision on what down it was. Just focused on executing the play in front of them.
And he's brought down after a tremendous effort just to get a couple of yards. Call it around 3 on the play. They're set up with 2nd and goal from the 5. Here's Garindo again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him around 3 yards, and it sets him up with 3rd and goal from the 2. Now Jones. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And now it's decision time on 4th and goal. A big try coming up here for Greg Joseph. It doesn't get much easier than this. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they take the lead in the 4th quarter.
That field goal gives them the lead for the moment, Kate, but you don't feel comfortable when you look up at that scoreboard. This one isn't over, and that lead certainly isn't safe.
Return starts at the 3. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The visitors and Clyde Edwards-Helaire headed out on offense. And his production is carried over into this second half. He keeps on running well, even with the workload they've placed upon him. From the gun, a give to Miller. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4. Running once more with Miller. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. So they opt for the shorter pass later in the progression on that play, Brock, but man, the defense took that away too.
Well, what they tell us yesterday in those production meetings, nothing comes easy. No easy completions from shots down the field to those checkdowns to the running back. Wanted to make this offense earn everything, and they just did.
So now here's 3rd and 5. Now motion him out of the backfield. Complete beyond the marker. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Motioning him from the slot right. They are throwing it again. This is hauled in by Peoples-Jones. And they take him down right along the 30. 2nd and 3 now. They kick the running back in motion. From the 30 on 2nd down. You'll get this to Means. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Trying the right side with Miller. And he'll have a short pickup down to the 17. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9. Running back sent in motion. He brings it in. And he's brought down, but there's some laundry on the field. He got too aggressive to try and stop that play, and they tag him for pass interference. They'll run here following the penalty. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop. It's a pickup of 5, and that brings up 2nd and goal. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the pressure drives them backwards.
Bend. Bend. Even good defenses, great defenses in this league, Kate, they're going to bend at times, but you never want to break. And when you get a sack in the red zone, well, that goes a long ways to helping your efforts.
So now, here's 3rd and goal. They kick the running back in motion. Has it in close. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience. Well, I tell you what, you get to this time of the game, you've got to have that reliable kicker on the sideline to turn things over to. That's the definition of clutch right there as they take the lead.
Has this at the 6. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. Now this offense getting set to work here. They managed 3 on their last drive, but down inside the red zone, disappointing not to come away with a touchdown. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. First down throw by Jones. That's complete. Here's Cowie. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. 2nd and 6 coming up here. They send a receiver in motion right. 2nd and 6 now. Hauled in by Garindo. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
That just might be a throw he regretted as soon as you let it go. I know that feeling. He was doing all he could to find a completion down the field, but they were all over that check down and ready to turn it into a negative play.
He has the first over the middle. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. They'll motion him out of the backfield left. Again, Jones to the air. Throwing the out route complete. And they make the tackle at the 38. He picks up 15 on the play. And that's a 49er first down. We've reached the 2-minute warning in Santa Clara. 49ers down by only 1. New set of downs for him at the 38. On first down, they'll run. Along this sideline inside the 25. And he heads out of bounds. Great pickup on that run. They'll get 18 yards there. And it brings up a San Francisco first down. Setting up to pass. He completes it in traffic. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. Well, they've certainly got the field goal in their back pocket, but they're going to try for the touchdown first here and goal to go. They'll try and punch it in. And he runs into a wall there. Multiple defenders ready to stop him cold at the line. It's second and goal. They're running again. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. A great play defensively. They forced a loss despite the penalty, and they just went ahead and declined it. Running it after the penalty. And he'll pick up a little down to the 12-yard line. We have a timeout here. Second one taken by New Orleans. A big try coming up here for Greg Joseph. A very short kick here from the right hash. That one is good! And late in the fourth, they have grabbed a lead.
That's called getting his job done, Kate, drilling it right through. And now they're in position to win this game. Now it's on some of those guys who are out there with them on the kick, those defenders, to hang on to this lead to give them the win.
Return coming from the 6. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Saints come marching onto the field. It sure seems like they've been able to score every time they've touched it this quarter, Brock. So high hopes again for this upcoming series. Receiver in motion, headed right. Here he is to throw. He gets this one to Peoples-Jones. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. The Saints call their third and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. A modest amount of time left, Brock, but crucially, no timeouts for him. It's first down. Back to throw. That's complete to Wilson. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. After a good pickup, they're set up with second and short. This is reeled in by Wilson. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. He'll look to throw it. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on first down. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Throwing from the gun here. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. Third down coming up. Now to throw. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means fourth down coming up.
You know, that's an example right there where you just simply got to be on the same page with each other and get both ends of the play right to execute. They want that one back.
Desperation time here on 4th. Called in left side. And they do not get a desperately needed first down. He doesn't make it, and they still trail after the turnover on downs. The 49ers only moments away from finalizing this victory as they take a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So the 49ers take the win here in front of the faithful in Santa Clara. And they'll enter the final week of the preseason with a little momentum thanks to this victory, ahead of that last tune-up before the games start to count. So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the 49ers, as we'll see you next time from Santa Clara.